morning, friends. It's me, Pastor Scott, with another 1-minute word of encouragement for today, Monday, August 17th. Today's word of encouragement is actually our memory verse for the week, so we encourage you to memorize this verse. It's going to be James chapter 4, verse 7. Before I read it, though, I want to give you a little bit of context and reminder. Last week, Pastor Doug talked about chapter 3 of James, where James describes the wisdom that is from above, and he contrasts it with the wisdom of the world. The wisdom that is from above, he describes as pure, it's peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy, good fruit, impartial, and sincere. And he contrasts that with the wisdom of the world. So the wisdom of God, we're to integrate it into our lives, and it gives us discernment. It gives us insight into things, and it finds expression in all of this fruit that James describes. So we move from this place of the wisdom of God into warfare. James talks about what happens when the church doesn't actually follow the wisdom of God, but instead follows the wisdom of the world. And he says in chapter 4, verse 1, he says that there's fights and quarrels among you. There's impurity, there's killing, there's coveting. In short, the people of God were choosing pleasure over peace. And James says it shouldn't be this way. That as believers, we should be reflecting the wisdom of God and not the wisdom of the world. Because these things put us at odds with God and his work in this world. So wisdom is the key in the book of James to recognize these temptations and the things that are going to keep us away from God and move us closer and closer into the way of the world. But not only does wisdom allow us to recognize this temptation, but it allows us to resist these temptations. So this is what James tells us in chapter 4, verse 7. He says, "Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." James is saying, open up your heart to the things of God. That submission is a cooperation with God in his work. It's an acceptance and integration of the wisdom from above into our lives, in a rejection of the wisdom of the world. So friends, today, every day of our lives, submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee. And then James says this in verse 8, it's great. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. May you experience the nearness and the goodness of God, our Father, our Savior. Have a great day, friends.